I am so glad you are here. I'm Liz, and we're just getting our internet set up, but I'm at Megas Books. It's a fantastic cold day today here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I am going to talk to you about some kitchen magic today because I think this is the perfect time of year. If you've never dipped into herbs and spices for your magic, this is the time because there's so much folklore surrounding winter holidays from multiple cultures. This is totally the time to look at this stuff. And a lot of spices coming out of Western herbal traditions, things like allspice, cloves, cardamom, anything along those lines, anything you might put into a pumpkin spice or a chai or anything along those lines, because they were so very expensive, people died getting them back up to Northern Europe. Those all came to be associated with wealth in European magic and in Western folklore, magical use. That's not true necessarily where they're from. Some of these are much more akin to aphrodisiacs on a magical or intuitive level than they are wealth. So it's kind of like getting a double whammy when you go for that cardamom. If you not had cardamom, oh my, it's so delicious. I highly recommend you grab yourself a little cardamom this season and just sub it where you would have put in nutmeg or cinnamon or something along those lines. Maybe pair it with one of those spices you're more familiar with. So you've got that little thread running through your baking, but oh, deliciousness. Or your cooking. These all have savory recipes associated with them. So check those out too, frankly. All of those spices, think love, think prosperity. One of the very old traditions coming out of European magic is if you have a whole nutmeg in your kitchen at all times, you will never want. It's a symbol and a magical statement of wealth, of prosperity. I will also chime in that there are herbs from Europe that have been popular at this time of year, particularly in Western magic and all kinds of systems. Mistletoe is a big one. We all kiss under the mistletoe now, so it's always been associated with love in modern times, but you will see it associated with protection as well as love when you really dig into the folklore about it. And many of these spices do those things. They are protective. They are about having a little joy in your life because we all have to have some joy. I'm very fond of saying life should be 10% challenge and 90% joy. Part of that is how you respond to challenges, I freely admit. You can hang on to a challenge and make it bigger than it needs to be, but these spices help you get through that and they add to your joy. And that's the purpose of all these magical tools, is to help you focus on what makes life worth living. A little prosperity, a little good health, a little happiness, positive relationships, love, romance, and all the things that come from that. That's the purpose of these bad boys. So if you have some eggnog, add a little extra dash of some powdered cardamom. I always fresh grind mine, but it's up to you. You can get the powdered. It's just not quite as potent. Same is true for most of these spices. If you opt to fresh grind them in a mortar and pestle or a coffee grinder, know that you will need less than your recipe calls for, because your recipes, unless they're specifically saying fresh ground, are assuming you've got that 5-year-old little container of your powdered allspice, powdered nutmeg, powdered cinnamon, whatever it is. Cinnamon I will often buy powdered, but the rest I tend to want to beat up myself in a mortar and pestle or a coffee grinder that I don't grind coffee in. I totally recommend this. But bring those spices in, make some stollen if that's your history. Make a little pudding if that's your history. I don't mean the wet, sloppy stuff because my mom's from England and her parents were English and Irish. I mean pudding in that sense. But grab them and just know, as you embrace any of those spices that you would associate again with like pumpkin pie or chai, you're inviting wealth and satiety, so the feeling of satisfaction with life, into your home. Some of them have also been associated with love and passion. I think that was because they were expensive. And when you bring in something like mistletoe, even fake mistletoe, if you're worried about the safety for small children or pets, it's still symbolic of what mistletoe represents. So go grab it, hang it up, and give people a little peck on the cheek if you catch them under it. You don't have to give a full-on kissy kiss, but just a little peck here is perfect. Anyone can handle that usually, we hope. Respect boundaries, have fun, and enjoy the holidays as much as you can. Think of enjoying your holidays, whatever winter holiday you celebrate, as revenge against the darker forces of the world, because that's what it is at its heart. Well, that's me and the magic of some of your basic kitchen things. This one was inspired by Linda Radich, The Secret History of Christmas Baking, and she's got another one on older Christmas traditions as well. You'll find these in our section on folk magic and Wicca and paganism and witchcraft here in our store and on our website. You will find all kinds of wonderful spices, from actual spices to incense, at the QR code. Oops, that's right, I'm backwards. QR code over there. And of course, you'll see our logo on our website at magusbooks.com. Or we'd love to see you here or to hear from you on the phone here at Magus Books in Minneapolis. But thank you so much for being your best magical you. And of course, for doing the little magical things you can do here. You know what they are. Subscribe. What can I say? Blessed be, and we'll see you soon.